How often have you caught yourself reacting to a situation in a way you later regretted, whether it's a surge of anger, crippling anxiety, or overwhelming frustration? It's a shared human experience. Now, picture yourself possessing the ability to remain calm and centered, regardless of the chaos life throws your way. Imagine never allowing your emotions to dictate your actions or to cloud your judgment, ensuring clarity even in the most stressful circumstances. The Stoics, those ancient masters of self-control, excelled at this skill. They didn't merely manage their emotions, they actively controlled them, directing them towards constructive ends. In this presentation, we will delve into the methods you can employ to cultivate similar emotional resilience. You'll discover how to respond thoughtfully rather than reacting impulsively, and how to navigate life with a sense of calm, rational clarity, no matter how turbulent the circumstances become. Let's embark on this journey together. 1. The core of emotions: how perception shapes your inner world. Emotions are often perceived as unpredictable forces, something that simply befalls us without our conscious input. However, in Stoic philosophy, emotions are understood as the direct result of our thoughts and interpretations, not the events themselves. Epictetus, the influential Stoic philosopher, famously said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Consider a time when you felt a strong surge of anger. Perhaps someone cut you off in traffic or someone made a hurtful comment. Your immediate reaction might have been anger, frustration, or even outrage. But here's the crucial insight: you consciously or unconsciously chose to interpret that event as something frustrating or offensive. In reality, nothing inherently causes anger. It's your perspective, your judgment of the situation, that triggers the emotional response. To control your emotions like a Stoic, the first step is to recognize that your thoughts create your feelings. The moment you realize that you are in charge of your interpretation of events, you unlock the power to change your emotional responses. When you feel your emotions rising, take a moment to pause and ask yourself, what am I telling myself about this situation? Is my current perspective helping me to remain calm and rational, or is it exacerbating my emotions? By consciously reframing the situation, shifting your perspective to a more objective and balanced viewpoint, you can effectively change the emotional outcome. 2. Focus on what you can control. Embracing the dichotomy of control. One of the foundational principles of Stoicism is the dichotomy of control. This principle posits that there are things that lie within your sphere of influence and things that exist entirely outside of it. When we expend our energy trying to control things that are beyond our influence, such as the actions of other people, the weather, or even past events, we inevitably create unnecessary emotional turmoil for ourselves. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." Let's examine this concept further. Imagine you are stuck in traffic and running late for an important meeting. You have two primary choices. You could become frustrated and angry, allowing your emotions to spiral out of control, or you could accept the reality of the situation and find a way to use that time constructively. The external situation, being stuck in traffic, is clearly outside of your control. But how you choose to respond to that situation is entirely up to you. When you feel yourself becoming emotionally charged, pause and ask yourself, is this situation truly within my control? Can I change anything about it right now? If not, how can I accept the reality of the situation and move forward with a sense of calm and purpose? The more fully you embrace the reality of what you can control, your thoughts, your actions, your reactions, the more peace and serenity you will find in the midst of the inevitable chaos of life. 3. The power of self-discipline, strengthening your emotional resilience. Have you ever noticed that the more you give in to impulsive emotions, the more difficult it becomes to break free from their grip? The Stoics understood that self-discipline is the key to emotional mastery. It's like training a muscle. The more you exercise your self-control, the stronger and more resilient it becomes. Seneca in his letters urged us to practice voluntary discomfort, consciously choosing discomfort on purpose so that we can build inner strength and fortitude. By deliberately subjecting yourself to mild hardships, whether through fasting, taking cold showers, or enduring other forms of discomfort, you prepare your mind to stay calm and composed in more intense and challenging situations. Introduce small challenges into your daily routine to build your emotional resilience. This could be as simple as waking up earlier than usual, taking a cold shower, or saying no to immediate gratification in favor of a longer-term goal. Each act of discipline strengthens your emotional control and prepares you for the bigger challenges that lie ahead. 4. Reframe the situation. Don't let your emotions hijack your mind. The Stoics taught that how we interpret the world around us directly determines our emotional state. While it's not necessary or even desirable to eliminate emotions altogether, we do need to prevent them from seizing control and clouding our judgment. One of the most powerful tools in Stoic philosophy for achieving this is cognitive reframing, consciously changing the way we look at a situation in order to alter its emotional impact. For example, if someone insults you, your initial reaction might be anger, hurt, or embarrassment. However, instead of allowing that emotion to spiral out of control, you can consciously choose to reframe the situation. You might tell yourself, "This person's opinion doesn't define me. Perhaps they're having a bad day, and their behavior has nothing to do with me personally." When you consciously reframe your thoughts, you take away the emotional power that the situation holds over you. When you feel a negative emotion arising, pause before you react and ask yourself, what else could be true about this situation? How can I see this differently in order to avoid an emotional overreaction? Reframing helps you to detach your emotions from the situation, giving you the freedom to respond rationally and thoughtfully. 5. Embrace the uncontrollable, accepting the impermanence of life. One of the most important lessons from Stoic philosophy is accepting that life is inherently unpredictable and that we cannot control everything that happens to us. The Stoics weren't advocating for apathy or indifference, but rather for a sense of serenity and equanimity in the face of the inevitable chaos and uncertainty of life. Epictetus once said, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by training ourselves to be indifferent to things that lie wholly outside our own control." To truly master your emotions, you must let go of the need to control everything. Life is inherently unpredictable, and the more we resist this fundamental truth, the more we suffer emotionally. By accepting that some things are simply out of our hands, we can free ourselves from the anxiety and stress of trying to control the uncontrollable. When life throws something unexpected your way, instead of reacting emotionally, remind yourself, "This is outside of my control. I can't change what has happened, but I can control how I choose to respond." Acceptance doesn't mean giving up or becoming passive. It means letting go of unnecessary emotional struggle and focusing your energy on what you can influence. Controlling your emotions like a Stoic doesn't mean suppressing them or denying their validity. It means understanding them, reframing them, and consciously choosing how to respond in a way that aligns with your values and goals. By focusing on what you can control, practicing self-discipline, and accepting the uncontrollable aspects of life, you develop the emotional resilience that the Stoics were known for. Remember, life will always present you with challenges and unexpected events, but it's your response to those challenges that ultimately determines your peace of mind and your ability to live with clarity and purpose. Stoicism isn't about avoiding hardship. It's about equipping yourself with the tools to navigate it with calmness, wisdom, and unwavering emotional control. So, the next time you find yourself on the brink of overreacting to a situation, pause and ask yourself, what can I control here? How can I reframe this situation in order to find peace? How can I respond with rationality and thoughtfulness instead of reacting impulsively? Each moment of emotional control is a step toward mastering yourself and leading a life of tranquility and purpose. Stoic philosophy offers us not just a way to think, but a way to live fully present in each moment, unshaken by the storm of emotions that often clouds our judgment. Every day presents an opportunity to practice emotional mastery, to grow stronger in mind and spirit. So embrace these Stoic principles and remember that you are ultimately in control of how you feel, no matter what happens outside of you. Live like a Stoic, calm, rational, and in full control of your emotions.